Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dave, and we're back with our next reading of the Old Testament. For those of you that have been following along, you know that we are in the book of Leviticus, and we're on chapter 15 today. I will be reading out of my King James Version if you are interested in following along. If you don't have a Bible, remember you can always go to Bible.com and read for free. You can also download the YouVersion app on any Android or Apple device, all right? Cool. So let's see. Today we're talking about personal uncleanness and separation from uncleanness for a total of 33 verses. So not a real long read today. Yeah, that's it. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We'll go ahead and get started. And Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. And this shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth, that hath the issue, is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat, that hath the issue, shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that toucheth the flesh of him that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean, and whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth any of these things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever he toucheth that hath the issue, and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And the vessel of the earth that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his issue. If any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereupon the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the even. The woman also with whom the man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if a woman has an issue, and her issue is in the flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean, and everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed, or anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation, she shall be made unclean. Every bed whereupon she lieth, all the days of her issue shall be made unto her as the bed of her separation, and whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever toucheth those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer for one a sin offering, and for the other a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord for the issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, so that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. This is the law of him that hath an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and defileth therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue of the man and the woman, and of him that lieth with her that is unclean. All right, thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Some interesting stuff. This is a very, very interesting book of the Bible for sure. So chapter 16 will be next. All right. What is today? Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. From Central Texas, as always, God bless.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you. Unseen, you're not alone.